Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and I'm here to answer the question you may have asked in the past. Is running an online watch business profitable? Well, of course it is, but I'm here to discuss that with you. Not too long ago, I was subjected to one of my processors' reviews that they do every 2 years. I had to pull up some tax returns, started going through this stuff, and I was like, you know what? This might make a good video. No, I'm not going to show you my tax return, but what I am going to do is normalize all the data per dollar spent, so you can kind of see where the majority of the expenses go. Reason for doing this, yeah, I think it would be cool, a cool video to do. I think people will be interested in it. I think a lot of people, there's a big misconception in that, you make something for X or you buy something for X, you sell it for Y, you keep everything, the difference between the two. Nothing could be further from the truth. Originally, when e-commerce first came out, when I started this, 20 years ago, brick and mortar people really hated e-com because they said we had no expenses. Nothing could be further from the truth. We may not have conventional retail space, but we have every bit of expense as a brick and mortar. The benefit to e-com is that it never closes, open 24 hours a day without somebody being in the store. So like I said, the way we're going to do this is I normalize everything to $1. So basically for every dollar that you spend in the store, where does the money go? And you'll see. I've got a whole bunch of graphics. We'll throw them up. It'll be I think it'll be fun. So here we go. So for every dollar spent, the big one is going to be what we're going to call cost of goods sold. Now, that is the price of the items that we are selling to you. But, big but here, rolled into that price is not just the cost of the item. There's a lot of stuff rolled in there. If it's imported, there's customs. There's all the banking and credit card fees associated with selling that. There's all the shipping supplies that we purchase to be able to ship you something, boxes, tape, paper, labels, printer labels and stuff like that. And then of course our outgoing shipping expense. That's all figured into this one number of cost of goods sold. As far as what do watches cost me, and then what do I sell them for? It varies. Every brand is different. Clearly, the highest margin, we use margin when we're business owners. We don't use the term markup. We use margin. Margin is sell minus cost divided by sell. So you can quickly say if there's an item that's 20% margin, you sell it for $100, you make $20. Markup is used by people on the other side of the camera that don't really understand how businesses operate. But anyway, so like I say, I'm sorry, every brand is different. Clearly, Islander, which is something I manufacture and sell, and I set the price, highest margin item in the store. I have no problem telling you that. Seiko will be somewhere in the middle, Citizen, they'll all be somewhere else. I will say pretty much the lowest margin that I will pretty much accept is about 30%. And then I'll go up to 99.9%. You can't get 100% margin. It doesn't work. The fraction goes to infinity. Anyway, so what I just said with the banking, shipping, all the other stuff, we are at 54 cents. So we have just eroded this dollar by 54 cents, leaving us with about 46 cents left of, we would call this gross profit in industry. But that's only step one. A lot of people think this is the end. Oh, wow, you take home 46 cents for every dollar we spend. That's amazing. Nah, it ain't that easy. Let's go. The next one we're gonna do, I have to consult my menu. And this is, by the way, in order of decreasing, nut, so to speak, is wages. So everyone's paycheck, 14 cents of every dollar that you spend is going to wages. And if you're in the US, maybe that's important to you, but every person that's employed by this company is in the United States somewhere. Most of them are in New York. We got Connecticut, and that might be it. Oh, Florida, whatever, a couple of people around. But, so 14 cents of every dollar that you're going to spend is going into employees' pockets. So that's 54, 64, that's like 68%. 68% or so. I probably shouldn't add it up. You guys can add it up if you want. The next one, so the next biggest one will be marketing and advertising, M&A. So this is, you see my annoying YouTube ads 4,000 times a day. You see Google AdWords. You get a text from me that there's a new deal happening, a giveaway. You get an email. This is all part of marketing and advertising, and that is 12 cents, I believe. Yes, 12 cents of every dollar you spend is spent right back at you, trying to get you to come back to the store, or new customer acquisition. But that's a big one, right? 12%. I mean, I don't know how. This is one of those things. Like I said, I never went to business school. I don't really keep metrics on stuff. What do businesses normally do? I don't care. All I know is that at the end of the day, if the business is profitable, my family's happy, everyone that works for me, their families are happy, then I'm not worried about metrics and crap like that. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is the general web expenses. This is going to be 6 cents of every dollar, so 6%. And we are looking at, so what is this? This is running the website, just the cost of maintaining the LongIslandWatch.com website, the monthly fee, everything that goes associated with it. Embedded in that are add-on services, the search box that you type into, different shipping softwares that we use, data interchange things, all sorts of stuff like that. Legal fees are in there, settlements, if somebody used a trademark of an item that they weren't supposed to, prior video. Stuff like that. Royalties, we do a collaboration. Cheap Audio Man we just did, that sold out. That was obviously, he gets a royalty for that. Every year we tend to do an Urban Gentry royalty. So royalty fees are built into there. And that's the big one. That's everything there. So like I said, that's like 6 cents on every dollar. And then I'm gonna finish it up with what I'm calling miscellaneous. So I gotta see what's in the miscellaneous here. The big ones that contribute to miscellaneous. So miscellaneous is 4%. Rent, this space I'm in, this 5,000 square foot space, rent is in there. Taxes. Now, this is probably not tax like you're thinking. This is kind of corporate taxes, licensing fees, things of that nature. We'll discuss tax in a minute, unfortunately. Pension and benefits. If employees opt to be into the pension program, there's a pension expense, benefit program, etc., all that stuff. And let's see, I think that's about, those are all the big ones there. And that's going to be, what did I say? 4%. So you add all that up. That's pretty much every expense that the business goes through. And at the end of that, you are left with roughly 10 cents of every dollar flows through as a corporate profit. That would be, I guess, again, not a business guy, EBITDA sort of earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization, stuff like that, ordinary business income, whatever the case may be. Obviously, every year stuff like this fluctuates, but we've been pretty stable lately. So roughly 10% will flow through the corporation to the business. And then let's talk about that. So the profit flows through to the officers of the business, which I am the sole officer of the business. Now, I didn't mention tax really much. So what happened? So Island Watch is a corporation in the state of New York. We are under subchapter S. So we are an S Corp, which means that all the profits flow through the corporation and they get taxed at the officer's tax rate. Basically, it goes on my personal income tax return, and that's where everything gets claimed. If you live in America, New York, we're taxed. I'm taxed at the federal level. I'm taxed at the state level. I'm actually a little bit taxed on the New York City level as well. Mind-boggling. I don't live there, work there, nothing, but they get a little piece of it. And whatever that case may be, you guys know the numbers, and that is then physically what I take home. It is much less than 10 cents of every dollar. So if I can sell roughly $1 billion in watches a year, yeah, I can pull in like 10 million bucks or something. Just kidding. Obviously though, paper drop. As I said, profitable business does well. But if you think that selling a $300 watch puts $300 in my pocket or someone else's pocket, it surely does not. At the end of the day, a $300 watch puts about 30 bucks into my pocket, and that's the $30 that goes to my family and whatever, and everything else that came out before wages that went to everybody that works for me, their families. That's about it. Interesting? Too much information? I hope not. I try to keep it as vague as possible, but also keep it enlightening for you. This has been Mark from LongOnWatch.com talking about business profits. Please like the video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Questions, comments, anything you want to say, put it down below. And I will be sure to address it as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.